It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got two beers from Germany, two Pilsners from Germany to show you, to put together, to see which is best. Because the reason why I've chosen to review these two beers today is because they're widely available in UK supermarkets and they're seen as really solid German Pilsners. One being Krombacher Pilsner, 4.8% ABV, 660 milliliter bottle with a gold and white Krombacher cap on the top there. Nice brown glass. There's going to be no light strike on this beer whatsoever affecting the hops. If I got time, we'll talk about that in a moment. And we got Warsteiner, which is called a premium beer. It used to be called Premium Unum, but not anymore. It seems that they've definitely changed the label on this one. It's just called a premium beer. But for me, I titled it as a Pilsner in the thumbnail of this video, because for me it is a Pilsner. It tastes just like a Pilsner. So we're going to colour a Pilsner, I think, this one. So two Pilsners from Germany, very, very solid beers, 660 millilitres, more than a pint in each bottle. Happy days. Without further ado, let's get these beers out into a glass and see what we get. So Hofmeister glass will be for the Warsteiner, More Beer Company glass for the Krombacher. Both 4.8% ABV. I picked these up as part of a 3 for 2 deal in Morrison's. But you can buy these beers in Tesco. You can probably buy them in Asda. You can probably buy them in Sainsbury's. They're widely available beers. They sit next to your Spanish beers, your European bottles, you know, your Stella Artois. But for me, in terms of quality, they're the ones that always end up in my shopping trolley. The German Pilsners. So beer in the glass, then we got a 3-finger white head. Good levels of carbonation rolling up the glass. It's a beautiful looking beer, golden amber in colour, clear to look at. Looks very, very good. Let's get the aroma. Oh yeah, just wonderful. All malt lager. You can get that kind of all malt quality. That slight biscuitiness coming through on the aroma. Spicy, peppery, hoppy. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Superb beer. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows, what a beer. A little bit of carbonation, pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth, releases more of that flavour. It's got that reassuring all malt lager backbone to it. It starts off being quite bready, quite biscuity. So a little bit of breadiness over there, a little bit of sweetness over there, and then it's got a fantastic bitterness over here. Really, really good bitterness to the beer. Really good beer, fantastic quality. If I'm... Say there's an international football match on the weekend and it's on at 8 o'clock in the evening and it's the middle of summer and I want something to refresh me whilst watching that football match, I will generally buy a couple of bottles of Warsteiner and a couple of bottles of Krombacher. It's my kind of go-to supermarket, easily accessible grab it, put it in your trolley, cool it down, always on the shelf beer. It's reliable, but it's not just reliable, it's really good quality beer. The interesting thing about Krombacher as well, I'll be very quick with this, is that they fell into the hands of a great big company. I think it was, off the top of my head, I think it was Heineken. Heineken purchased Krombacher, and then the company behind Krombacher actually bought it back. They seen what the big company that bought them were doing to the beer. They seen what they were doing to the company. They were that passionate, they bought it back from the big boys, and they made the company independent again. That's German beer brewing passion for you. Warsteiner then, 1753. 660 milliliter bottle. Oh, this one. Right, it's brewed in Germany, but it's been imported by Carlsberg Marston's Brewing Company. I nearly began to cry then. I thought it was kind of a UK brewed Warsteiner. I was thinking, no, you've ruined it. But no, we'll stick with our It is brewed in Germany, thank goodness. Now looking at this beer, it's slightly different. Here's the Krombacher, here's the Warsteiner. Now the Warsteiner for me is looking slightly lighter. They've used slightly paler malts, and it's a little bit more carbonated, I would say, than the Krombacher. Both got great heads on the beer though. So here's the Warsteiner. I've reviewed, if you want to watch the review, I've reviewed the 5 litre mini keg of the Warsteiner. I reviewed it last summer whilst Glastonbury was on, and I drank some beer and watched Glastonbury, and it was all good fun. I think I drank the 5 litres. Anyway, aroma on this one. Yeah, this one I always find a little bit drier, a little bit more kind of spicy and peppery and herbal, if you like, but a drier aroma to it. A little bit more kind of, if you want to call it cleaner, a little bit cleaner with the malt. It doesn't seem as bready as the Krombacher. Let's dive into it. Cheers, everybody. Much more dry, much more spicy, much more like sort of kind of like a pepperiness coming through. Not as bitter. It's not as bitter as the Krombacher, although my palate might have adjusted to the bitterness with the Krombacher. So let's get back in, let's have another go. It's definitely more of a carbonated brew. Interestingly, I used to like the Warsteiner more, but I'm actually enjoying the Krombacher more now, and that's slightly worrying for me. That's slightly worrying for me because imported by Carlsberg Marston's Brewing Company. The name's been changed on the label, premium beer, instead of the premium Verum, I think it was called. That's not on here anymore. I was only in Hamburg in Germany 2 years ago, and I found this fantastic kind of Vietnamese restaurant, and I had a chicken noodle dish. But the point is, they had draft Warsteiner on in this bar, and I had the nicest pint of beer probably I've ever had in my life. You know, in that moment in time was fantastic. Sitting in Hamburg, Germany, fantastic weather, fantastic food, fantastic beer. I was in one of those moments, but this seems a bit. I like it. Don't get me wrong, I do like it. But I was expecting to like it more than the Krombacher, and I don't think I do. It's a little bit of a mustiness to it. A little bit of a... It's dry, peppery, spicy, but there's a little bit like of a slight kind of mustiness coming through, and I prefer the Krombacher. I definitely do. I definitely do. Yeah. Now, if anybody got any information on Warsteiner, please comment in the comments box. Has Warsteiner changed for you? This is slightly kind of, for me, slightly worrying, because I drank this beer. I drink this beer a lot of the time. I haven't had it for a little while, but I always remember when I was drinking Krombacher and then Warsteiner, I was always preferring the Warsteiner. But on this occasion, something's definitely changed a little bit with the Warsteiner, and I'm preferring the Krombacher. I'm going to rate it then. Krombacher Pils, for me, the better beer. The better beer, and it's a 9 out of 10. I really enjoy it. It's a 9 out of 10 for me for the Krombacher Pils. The Warsteiner, I don't know, maybe because it's got Carlsberg Marston's written on the back of it. Why are Carlsberg Marston's involved in this beer company now? It definitely don't taste as Warsteiner tasted like 6 months ago for me. Bit of a shame that. I hope it hasn't been altered. But it's no more than a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 from the Warsteiner. So Krombacher, the clear winner here. Let's see how the months unfold. Let's see if Warsteiner gets back on its perch, if you like, becoming a really good beer again. Because it's not tasting as Warsteiner did just 6 months ago, a year ago. I hope you liked the video. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.